Let's move from Iraq to Syria. You've said you're confident there were no good options for the U.S. to be able to stop what's going on in Syria without getting our troops involved in a quagmire. Right. You've also recently said that you are haunted constantly by what's going on there, the nearly 500,000 killed, right. The biggest refugee crisis since World War II. When you see images from Syria, do you ever doubt yourself? Do you ever second-guess the decisions you've made?
I think any good president has to go back and re-examine the decisions that he or she made so that you can learn something from them.
Al-Assad, or we burn the country, regime loyalists like to chant. And over the last 10 years, as Syria has plummeted deeper into the abyss, the country has burned, and President Bashar al-Assad has clung to power. An uprising that started peacefully has left as many as 500,000 dead by some estimates. The United Nations gave up counting 5 years ago. More than half the population has been driven from their homes or has fled the country. Unwilling to concede that his dynastic regime and decades of oppression were to blame, Assad called it a foreign conspiracy. And indeed, the uprising has become a multinational bloodbath. The U.S. and its Gulf allies initially provided the divided opposition with just enough money and weapons to keep fighting, but never enough to win. And the failure of that opposition opened the door to ISIS and its brutal brand of madness, which brought American and European boots to Syrian soil. Iran and Lebanese Hezbollah came to Assad's aid, followed by the full might of Russia. Turkey also joined the fray, along with Israel. Syria today is a kaleidoscope of conflicts, pitting superpowers, regional powers, local powers against one another, now in a stalemate. A quagmire where it has become costly to stay, perhaps even more costly to leave. Dreams of freedom faded long ago. Syrian-American author and journalist Alia Malik witnessed the early years of the conflict.
Order and stability, I think, have emerged as things that are more important to the international community than the messiness of a true sort of open or democratic society. The fear of like ISIS-type Islamist militants psychologically terrorizes people more than the idea of like a butcher in an Armani suit.
The official Syrian media portrays Assad's survival as a victory that has left him ruling over just part of his devastated country, a traumatized population, and an economy in freefall due to corruption and sanctions. If this is victory, what is defeat? Ben Wiedemann, CNN, Beirut.